So now let's see.
He struck out Machado.
Yeah, Phillips did his thing. All right, good evening. It's Friday night. You know what that means. It's time for the number one sports podcast in the world. It's time for Sports4U. We live on YouTube. I'm John. That's Mark.
Yep.
Nick Freeze is on the way. And I'm very excited because I didn't expect us to have a guest today. I know these guys are going to join us next week to talk some fantasy football, but when he saw the topic of today's show, he wanted to join the conversation for sure. So our boy Cody at Coleman Pride _69 at from the Ballers and Breeze Fantasy Sports Podcast. Cody, welcome to the show, man.
Appreciate it, fellas. I appreciate you guys having me on. Been in and out of comments in the peanut gallery for the last couple weeks, and I know you guys been saying you wanted on, and I was like, oh, I had some availability tonight, and I had to come talk this farm animal topic right here. So.
Oh yeah, it's about to be on. Nick Freeze is gonna come on in a little bit, and we're gonna get started on this. But right now it's real intense in the studio right now because I'm a Dodgers fan. I got my Matt Kemp shirt on. Shout out to my man. Yeah, that was a rough time. My man Idea from Can't Beat LA. As the Dodgers right now, they're up. There we go, Bessie. Yeah, let's go. The bullpen and Yamamoto came to pitch tonight, but we need to get another run. We only got the Kike home run. This Phillips struck out. Phillips did his thing, struck out the side. We're up 1-0 going into the bottom of the seventh. And obviously the New York Mets are sitting there waiting to see which part of Southern California are they heading to? They heading to LA or they heading to San Diego?
They're heading to Southern California or Southerner California.
Good point. That's a good point. Or South LA is what man Cappy would say. Cody, who's your baseball squad?
My squad's out. We got swept out by the damn Tigers. I'm a Stros fan, so I need a beating on trash cans, dog. I need to be beating on trash cans.
Oh,
yeah. I knew you was gonna be like be like this guy brought me, let you come on my podcast. You come out and say you're a fucking Astros fan. Yeah, I am.
No. I'm saying you're my guy. You're gonna be your family. You good. Your content is dope. But man, you say the Astros, man. You know I have no sympathy for them dudes. But I'm glad. Thank you for respecting my immaturity right now.
Hey,
but
man.
Yeah.
I hate the Dodgers just as much as you hate the Astros for other reasons. But yeah, I've been a Dodgers hater for years though, so it's not just recently.
Why?
It's not just since I just never liked the Dodgers. I didn't growing up with when they had guys like Mike Piazza and dudes like that, you see that go to other teams and they're remembered not being Dodgers than they were Dodgers, right? Like so, it's just. Right. I never really liked the Dodgers. And then it was always great for me anytime that we could beat up on the Dodgers. But man, you guys have got it. And you got the best player in baseball right now. Shout out to Ohtani.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, but y'all still
I hope Ohtani wins a World Series. Fuck the rest of them guys on that team.
I can't be mad. I can't be mad, man. I can't be mad. I can't respect the man. I can't be mad when the man is brutally honest, and I respect that, and that's why you're gonna be here. We're gonna talk some football because, like I said, we had an interesting topic today. Thank you, Cam Jordan, for the content and the conversation because we're gonna talk some football. And when Nick Freeze gets here, he has his tiers of quarterback. But let's just set the table for what we're gonna talk about tonight. So we're talking about QB tiers. You see the background? It's our thumbnail. I got Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Drew Brees, and you're wondering why that specific. So
that's crazy. 3 pictures together.
Right. So let me explain what's going on. So Cam Jordan recently on a podcast said he believed Drew Brees is the GOAT. this sparked a very interesting conversation in our group chat. And obviously, we have
both group chats.
Both. Because we have a very very eclectic group of fans. I'm a Broncos fan, Mark's a Bills fan, Nick's a Raiders fan, and we got friends and fellow listeners of the Sports4U family.
Saints fans,
Rams fans,
Rams,
Chargers, Buccaneers, Raiders, obviously, 49ers, Eagles, definitely. Yeah, shout out to Philly.
But no funky ass Jets fans. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, we'll talk about them losers also in a little bit because they got freaking grounds out. But obviously, when you think of tiers with quarterbacks, obviously you think of Montana, you think about Brady, you think about Manning. Obviously, Breeze is a first ballot Hall of Famer. Shout out Casey, just did his show. Shout out to him and Jay Moon on the KC Sports Show. It's up on YouTube and on our socials. If you haven't watched, go back and watch that after this show. We went all over the map on that show on various topics. But obviously this talk was because I think obviously Cam Jordan's being a homer because obviously Drew Brees has been his quarterback his entire career until he retired. So the first 9 years of Cam Jordan's career, all he knew was Drew Brees. Until obviously now with where you've had the Jameis Winstons and Derek Carrs now starting Sunday, it's going to be Spencer Rattler because Derek Carr's on the shelf for a couple of weeks. When you think of Drew Brees' career, Cody, what do you think about him when you think about all the great quarterbacks that have came through the NFL?
Well, first would like to say shout out to my boy DFS Phil, who is on our show. He's a big Saints fan. The three of us, him, myself, and Brad BQ, we talked this conversation ad nauseum, right? And Phil, he's a big Saints fan, and he'll die on the altar saying that Drew Brees is the GOAT. Like literally, he would die on that altar. So, me personally, for years, okay, yeah, but he's not the GOAT. I don't think so. I think he's great. He was great at what he did. I wish that that Nick Saban wouldn't have said no when he went to Miami, and he might have been when the Dolphins the Super Bowl. So, but man, top three definitely GOAT. My opinion for sure.
Top three what?
Top three quarterback of all time. Yes.
And with that being said, enter the chat the great Nick Freeze. Nick, what up?
Wait, hold on. Who you
what
have?
To do? What to do?
Who do I have as the GOAT?
Yeah.
Beep, Father, what's up?
No.
Yeah, Cody, who you have as the GOAT?
So this is the thing. I'm a hair splitter when it comes to this conversation. And that's what I was telling John. I was like, I have a take that's going to make you guys go, what the hell, once I tell it to you. So, but it's a little bit of a long-winded take, but I separate the GOAT, the best football player of all time, and the best quarterback of all time, because I split the two.
We're going best quarterback.
Quarterbacks.
We're going best quarterback.
He's in orange behind you. Peyton Manning. Best quarterback. If I need to win a game and I need someone to play quarterback, it's Peyton Manning.
I'm not mad at that. I don't agree with it, but I'm not mad at it.
I'm not mad at it either. Why? I'm not mad at it either, but why over Brady?
I think Brady, for years, I mean, he was protected by a great defense, right? Like with Bill Belichick, and arguably he obviously everybody's like, oh yeah, he went to Tampa, but again, that Tampa defense at that time was really good. Like it was a good defense. That's what a lot of people remember. It's a great defense. He was always great. He never elevated poor performance. Okay, I never felt like Tom Brady at quarterback made other players around him better. That was kind of the knock on him at the end of his Patriots career. He didn't have anybody to throw to. And I don't feel like he ever elevated the rest of the players on his team. And in between the ears, quarterback play, if I need someone that's beat, I think of a coach. And I think of Peyton Manning as a coach, like a type of coach. That's what the quarterback to me means. He's a coach on the field that just happens to throw the ball or hand it off. Now, best player of all time, all things considered, is Tom Brady, because that takes into account everything, teammate, wins, everything. Quarterback mentality, I want Peyton Manning every day, all day, and twice on Sundays.
Wow.
I told you it's gonna go down like this, but I split the two.
All right, so look.
I've been waiting for Nick. I've been waiting for Nick because I want to hear what he says.
Look, this is what I have to say about the Brady comments. Go ahead.
Hold on, Nick. Let Mark go first because this is your segment. So I want you to have the floor to say what you got to say. But let Mark say what he got to say.
Yes, sir.
The argument if he didn't make players better, he won Super Bowls for his best receiver before Brown. He had a great receiver, they didn't win. It wasn't his fault, but they didn't win. But he won with lower marketing, like less talented receivers. I don't know if I'm calling Peyton Manning to win a game over Joe Montana or Tom Brady. I think I have as the overall performance of what a quarterback does, I have Peyton Manning third. But I think the best just thrower of a football might have been Dan Marino. And this is coming from a Bills fan.
I don't disagree with that. I mean, the dude had a great arm, but if I'm having that kind of argument, I'm throwing Matthew Stafford in that argument, So I
wouldn't put him up there with Dan Marino and Warren Moon. I wouldn't do that.
Just arm talent. If we're talking arm talent, that's a whole different conversation. But I'm talking about just everything it takes to be a quarterback.
Everything it takes to be a quarterback. I got Tom, Joe, and Peyton. But go ahead, Nick. This show segment. You've been going crazy all day.
This your segment. The floor is yours.
All right. So I absolutely, completely disagree with Brady not making players better. I've seen Brady. I'll give you a prime example. Julian Edelman. He was a quarterback converted into a receiver that he made into a star. Only people that I could say that were like bona fide stars that he didn't make, that he had at receiver, was obviously Randy Moss. And people may think they not know this if you didn't watch him in college, but probably Gronkowski and Hernandez. Those are the three that I can say that those guys were studs already when they got up over there. Relax. And even outside of this, the receivers, even the running backs, early on he had Corey Dillon, but outside of that, he went to the Super Bowl with LeGarrette Blount as his best running back, and what was old boy name? Was it James White?
James White was there. He's one.
James those
White.
Are guys.
Kevin Falk.
Yeah, Kevin. Those are guys that we only know about them because they played with Tom Brady. If they were on, because once they left from up over there, well, outside of LeGarrette Blount, we all remember him from Oregon. But outside of him, those other guys, if he didn't play if they weren't with Tom Brady, we wouldn't know who those guys are. He's definitely made some teams better. Players better, most definitely. But outside of that, what you said about Brady, I kind of agree with you. But here's the thing. Early on when Brady was there, he had to convert from being a game manager to being the guy. He actually became the guy
to winning games
once the defense fell off. And they were still able to get to the playoffs, but the defense was losing a lot of games for him. The defense was the reason why they couldn't beat Peyton and them a few times in the playoffs. So when the defense finally got caught back up with how the offense was running, they became unstoppable again. So I have Peyton number 3. Oh yeah, to the Giants. That was crazy. I don't know how they lost to them twice. Yeah, I got Brady 1, I got Joe 2, and I got Peyton 3. I think those guys are the top tier quarterbacks of all time. You know, the guys that are a little bit older than us will say, like, you know, the Autograms and the Johnny Unitas and those type of guys. I refuse to believe that those guys are better than those 3 right there.
Hey, Nick,
and
Nick, I'm not
thinking that no quarterback I never seen.
Hey, Nick, I'm not ever talking to anybody who names Autogram.
my rebuttal to that is very statistics driven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so in the life of their career, Peyton Manning had 43 fourth quarter comebacks. Tom Brady had 46. Okay, Peyton Manning retired in 2015. Okay, in that time frame, Tom Brady had about, I think, according I'm just looking at the stats right now. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 comebacks. 15 in the time after Peyton Manning retired. Okay. 15. So I'm just saying it took Tom Brady 7 more seasons after Peyton Manning retired to go ahead of him only by 3. And that's what I'm just saying. And that's to Mark's point as well. If I need someone to come in and get a drive for me, fourth quarter drive, a comeback, Peyton Manning was already ahead of Tom Brady. And because
Hey, Cody, let me ask you a question. If you put Tom Brady with Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne, what you think happens?
I mean, it's good. I think that he's good. I mean, I honestly do. Those are Hall of Fame caliber talent. Yes, absolutely.
I mean, when you put a receiver with Hall of Fame receiver with Tom Brady, he broke all the passing records when he had Marvin Harrison. I mean, when he had Randy Moss, right?
Yeah.
If you give him a career with Marvin Harrison and then going to Reggie Wayne, and the Colts defense wasn't bad, how do you think that turns out for the Colts?
Obviously, I mean, Tom Brady owned Peyton Manning in the time he was there, like literally. But that same conversation we could be having with Ben Roethlisberger or fucking Joe Flacco. They owned everybody, each other in the AFC at that time. If Tom Brady wasn't winning, but I'm just saying, as a football player, I like Tom Brady as the football player, but as the quarterback, I want personally, that's me. I wanted Peyton Manning. Like, that's just me. I'm not arguing that these guys could be, we're at a coin flip at this point, but one has 7 Super Bowls and one has 2, right? So that's why I separate them. One as a football player and one as a quarterback. So
Hey Cody, with me, if you talk to John or Nick, one thing I won't ever do is bring in championships. That don't matter to me because that's a team sport. I'm talking about like as an individual player and as a quarterback.
I want Peyton Manning.
I'm not mad. I can't be mad at Peyton Manning because Peyton Manning did his thing. Like, Peyton Manning is great. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think he's at the table with all 3 of them at the table, so you can pick and choose who you want. You know what I'm saying? When somebody pick Peyton Manning, I'm not mad at that. When somebody pick Joe Montana, I'm not mad at that. Huh? Yo, relax. And when somebody pick Tom Brady, I'm not mad. It's just, you know what I'm saying? They're all great. The great.
I think Peyton is like the smartest quarterback probably the NFL has seen. Like, I think as far as that,
I said that.
I don't even think it's close.
Why?
You said
I think the
why?
way he processes the way he processes stuff is just like, to me, it's just from even when I saw him, because obviously I probably had the most experience with Peyton because of him being at Tennessee, then eventually him going to the Broncos. The way he processed the game, even as a kid, I mean, as a teenager or young adult, whatever, it was beyond his years. We hadn't seen that really. I mean, in college,
no, or not college,
not in college. Well, and then when he got to the NFL, obviously you saw it from Montana, you seen it from Brady. It was something different because I think we saw him process it, but then you add in the element of the no huddle and the hurry up offense being like,
go to the early 90s.
Wait, what? What you said?
There's another quarterback that was doing that and calling his own plays.
You talking about Jim Kelly?
Yep. We're not gonna act like he was the first one doing it.
Jim Kelly.
He was the better quarterback. No. He was a better quarterback. Peyton Manning is the better quarterback. But we're not gonna act like he was the first one doing it.
Well, I never said he was the first. That's what I said.
Well, I think we've seen it before. You said we never seen it. We've seen it before.
I think we have seen it, to me, to the point where do you think he was known? Was Jim? Y'all, you know Buffalo better than me. Were y'all doing no huddle offenses in the 90s?
Yes, that's what the K gun was.
Okay.
And he was calling his own offense.
But you still would take Peyton over Jim Kelly?
Of course, without a doubt. All right.
Come on now. Let's not do that.
I'm not questioning that. I'm not questioning that. Yes, without a doubt.
Yeah.
So let's get to the reason why this conversation even happened. So let me reset. Cam Jordan, all-pro defensive lineman for the Saints, was on a podcast. I don't know, maybe was it his or somebody else's, and he said Drew Brees was the GOAT. This is where this whole conversation sparked from, Cody, and this had Nick feeling some type of way because of the conversations we was having in our group chat. So that's why we wanted to get Nick before. Now, when I put the show that said Drew Brees was the GOAT, I wasn't saying that nobody in our group chat said that. I was saying it because John was basically shot at Cam Jordan for saying that. So when you hear Drew Brees is the GOAT, you're like, what the heck is these Sports4U dudes talking about? No, that's the essence of this conversation and why the great Nick Freeze wants to talk about QB tiers. So I'm grateful that Cody wanted to jump in the conversation because he had a take on it, and he told me about it earlier. I didn't know I told him to save it for the show. So I was hearing it in we're gonna give Nick the floor, and I'm gonna start off with your first QB tier, Nick Freeze. Let's go.
The first QB tier for sure is Tom Brady, Joe Montana, and Peyton Manning. I think those are the three that I think are the top tier. Now, people gonna say, why haven't I said Mahomes? I think give Mahomes one more year. I think he's just too early in his career for him to be that high. Now, is he going to be there? Yes, he is, but not right now.
Nick, stop being PC. Tell me what you told me.
What?
Yeah, what now? Never mind. Go ahead.
Wait, this year?
Not just this year.
No, it was last year too. He's been tripping the past 2 years. If he would have continued having them years he was having beforehand, oh yeah, there's no doubt about it. But he's been tripping the past 2 years. Especially this year. I don't know what the hell's going on, but they're winning games, so that's all that matters.
We think obviously who's he throwing the ball to, but he's making the best out of it. But your point is valid because you think about it. Last year you had Valdez Scantling, and he was all those drops and this and that, and but there was some he was very reckless with the ball. I would know because when they played us, he was throwing when he threw some of the picks. I was like, those were some ducks. They weren't like no vintage Mahomes passes, and that's how we was able to snap the streak against them when they came to the crib. He got outplayed by Russell Wilson. Am I lying?
Russell Wilson did have better numbers than him last year.
Did he outplay him? And then when they won, we lost when we went to KC, but when they came to Mile High, they knew what was up.
If you look at the numbers, he's actually outplayed them in all the games they played against each other. Even though he may not have won all of them, but his numbers were better in all the games except for like maybe one, which surprised the hell out of me too when I saw it.
Let me ask you this question about tier one, and I'm gonna go to Cody. What makes a tier one quarterback to you?
What makes a tier one quarterback for me?
Yes.
So first and foremost, you got to have the Super Bowl win, no doubt about it. You cannot be in that tier without multiple Super Bowl wins or appearances, because in Peyton's case, he went to 4. He has 2, but he went to 4. But you'd be like, okay, but there's other quarterbacks who have won more. But Peyton Manning also has 5 MVPs. 5 MVPs is ridiculous in the NFL. I don't care.
Chill, dog.
Stop with the honey. Sam, what it do, dog?
Simply ball dropping podcast. Hey, Sam, we gotta get you to talk about these WBA finals after we talk, bro. Go ahead, continue, Nick.
So that's why, at least in Peyton's case, and then when you watch him on the field, like, you can tell that only one other person in the league was on Peyton's level when they were playing, and it's vice versa with Tom Brady. Now, when Joe Montana was the man, there was nobody on his level. It might have been somebody close, but when he was the man, it wasn't close.
Okay.
So, well, at least if you bring it up to tiers, there's nobody close. Because if based off my tiers, there's nobody that he played against until like later in his career that was in the tier that was closer to him.
Who was that? Joe Montana?
Yeah.
Okay.
And Joe Montana, not only was Joe Montana, he won, he's undefeated in the Super Bowl. He has multiple MVPs as well. And he was the quarterback that was the face of this new offense that was implemented by Bill Walsh. Even though the offense had been around for a little bit of time before him, it didn't become popular until the 49ers figured it out all the way. So you got to have the charisma. You got to have the leadership. It's a lot that goes into being tier 1. And when you see these guys play, you know that these are the top tier guys. Hall of Famer Eli undefeated in the Super Bowl. All right. We ain't talking about tier 6 quarterbacks right now. But this nigga said Eli. But yeah, that's the guys I have the top tier. And compared to some of the other, now there's probably some guys in tier 2 that if their careers would have went a little bit differently, or in Patrick Mahomes' case, he's going to be there in a couple of years. If their careers went a little bit differently, they could be in that tier as well. But that's just the way that one falls. Like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is in tier 2. If you look at Aaron Rodgers' numbers, his numbers are, like I said earlier, like I showed y'all earlier with the numbers, it's like almost 500 touchdowns to like 109 interceptions. That ratio is ridiculous.
Yeah. 150.
So he's in tier 2 for sure.
All right, go ahead, Cody. What you thinking next tier 1?
I think you got to add one. You got to add Breeze. I agree with everything that you just said, Nick. Everything, absolutely everything, but Breeze in all quarterback statistic categories, he is in the top 5 or top 3 or even top 2. Every quarterback statistical category, and at one point was number 1 in everything until Tom Brady played 2 more seasons past him. So I think you have to. I think everything you said. I love everything you said about everything. I just think you need to add Breeze into the top tier. He could be 4 in the list of 1 through 4, and I would be fine with that. But I think that he needs to be there. And because the only thing is, he did all that. Obviously, he's done everything. He has over 80,000 passing yards, the touchdowns that he's had. And this is something that we were talking. Y'all kind of went back. We kind of glossed over this shit. That guy never had anybody that was worth a shit to throw to besides Marquise Colston or Jimmy Graham when Jimmy Graham was good at one point. Really, and he did okay. He did at the beginning of his career. He had Antonio Gates, but that was nobody remembers Drew Brees and Antonio Gates together. They remember Phillip Rivers and Antonio Gates together, right?
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And in that rotator cuff, we didn't think he was ever going to come back to that. And he was noodle arm for like 3 years at the end of his career. So I'm just saying, I think that you could just smack 1 through 3, whatever order you want to put them in. I think Breeze needs to be in that top tier, and you could cap it right there.
Hey, Cody, let me ask you this. you living through the Breeze era and you living through the Aaron Rodgers era, you can honestly, with both eyes, saying Drew Brees is a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers.
I think so. I honestly do, because I honestly thought he was always thought he was a better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. I've never been. I mean, Aaron Rodgers is good. He's good. He could always make plays where people didn't. He could sling it when he needs to. But honestly, I liked Drew Brees better. Just watching him play better. I mean, I felt like that he was I don't know. Maybe I got caught up in the charismatic nature of Drew Brees. I don't know. Maybe.
Hey, Cody, outside of the championship, you have Pat Mahomes. Just watching them. I don't care about championships. That don't matter to me. Just watching them. Is he a better quarterback than Pat Mahomes?
At this point in his career? Like, and at this point in Patrick Mahomes' career?
Uh-huh.
If I could, I mean, this is, and all things considered, I can't compare the two. I'm not going to compare the two, to be honest. I think Patrick Mahomes has the GOAT argument. Eventually, he does, as what Nick says. He's going to be in that category, and he could easily boot Brees out of there. He finish his career with over 80,000 pass yards. He's probably going to break all the records. But at the end of the day, I need to see Patrick Mahomes suffer through adversity. All three of these guys, and even Joe Montana, has suffered through adversity. I don't feel like Patrick Mahomes has suffered through the adversity yet that these other guys have suffered for. And that's what I'm saying. Like, he's gone. He's had wins in Super Bowls. He lost one to Tom Brady, who is arguably, you guys are saying, is the GOAT, right? Or maybe not. And like I said, he hasn't come back from a massive injury. He hasn't done all of these things that I feel like just comes into the charismatic nature of being quarterback in the NFL. I just feel like he hasn't been, the game's changed for him, right? I don't feel like he's changed the game. I feel like the game has changed for him, if that makes any sense. That again, like,
Candace got an
I'm an attorney by trade, man. I'm gonna argue about it every day. So I'm gonna argue just for argument's sake.
Hey, listen, what we doing is we arguing about, we talking about great quarterbacks.
He'll be there.
I think he will. When we talking about 5 or 6 great quarterbacks, I'm not mad when somebody. I just like to have information about why. If you think that somebody's better than other people.
What y'all think of Candace's question? I'll start with you, Cody. Then I'll go to Nick. I'll go to Nick first. Does Patrick Mahomes need to have weaker competition?
Does he have weaker competition so far?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't have no weak competition. There's very good quarterback play up on the in the AFC. It's not his fault that he hasn't. His team is built to go through the adversity. They switch from being if you pay attention to how their team is, they switch from being an offensive team to being a defensive team. They're a defensive team that just so happen to have arguably the best quarterback in the game when he's on his game.
Yeah,
and sometimes, and I agree with Nick. What you've been saying, what I'm saying on here is he turned into a game manager. Is when you still need that drive and you still need a play to be made to win a game. Patrick Mahomes makes that play. He makes every that play 100% of the time.
My question to you, but all of you guys, is Patrick Mahomes this good without Andy Reid? That's my question. Like, is he Cody, this good?
Cody, I've been asking that question to myself silently for a long time. And I think I might have asked Nick about if you split Pat Mahomes and if you switch Pat Mahomes and Josh Allen, that are we still recognizing Pat Mahomes as what he is?
I'm going to say no.
I don't think so.
I don't think he doesn't get the accolades that he has now, but I think the skill would still be.
The skill's gonna be there, no matter what. The skill's gonna be there.
But I don't. He doesn't get the accolades. But we don't know that.
He has one Super Bowl right now. If he's with McDermott, he has one.
I don't think he has one.
I think the skill gets him by through one.
I think coaching. Look,
that 14 seconds wouldn't happen.
Listen, yes, it would have. That had nothing to do with Josh Allen. That had to do with Leslie Frazier.
I'm gonna say this: coaching to me always matters because I think it really matters who your coach is because definitely when you go into a coach who's
absolutely, Candace, absolutely.
No.
That would not even.
Y'all have to put context in what Candace is saying. I think she said, "Can you put him on the Broncos and he still win?"
I think
so.
Yes.
You talk about these
Hell yeah.
You talk about the
you don't think Sean Payton?
Heck no. I think with this Broncos team, is basically going through the same thing in Kansas City because our team is led by our defense.
He will utilize y'all offensive players way better.
Exactly. I think so.
Any of the quarterbacks y'all have right now, John.
But I think we would still be pretty much
No.
where we are.
Portland Sutton would be
barely above 500.
Y'all would be able to run the ball way better. Y'all would be way better. Y'all would be a Super Bowl winning team if y'all had Patrick Mahomes.
I agree.
Because y'all offense would be taken to a whole nother level because y'all have the players on offense. Y'all just don't have the quarterback play to meet with y'all offense yet. When you get Patrick Mahomes in that situation, and like you said, it's similar to how it is in Kansas City, he got a receiver out there that actually can catch. He don't have a receiver that can catch up over there in Kansas City, except for Rashee Rice, but he be iffy with the catching sometimes too.
So I was going to say this before we went off to that part of the topic. I believe coaching matters and where you get drafted matters.
Yep.
I truly do. From obviously me and Nick amongst the crew have struggled probably the most recently with trying to find. Well, okay, now you okay. I'll take it back. You did have crowd, right? My bad. We've all struggled trying to find the quarterback for our squads. Mark had to deal with some time between Jim Kelly till Josh Allen.
Tell me I ain't had to have this fucking struggle.
Wait, you're a Texan? Oh, you're a Texan.
Hell yeah, I'm a Texans fan.
So you can relate then. Obviously,
That's what I'm saying.
You can relate. So, and I dealt with it from Elway to Peyton. Well, I mean, we had to deal with the Jay Cutlers, Jay Plumbers, obviously Tebow Mania, and now
wait. Jay Plummer was nice with y'all. Hold on, don't play Jay Plummer like that.
I love Jay Plummer.
I'm not
Jay Plummer was nice over there with y'all.
I'm not dissing Jay Plummer. He got us to the AFC Championship. We ran into another guy you're going to mention later on in one of your tiers. That's the only reason we didn't get that Super Bowl pre-Elway because we ran into the Steelers in the AFC Championship in 05.
Oh,
or else we were on our way because we knocked. Remember, we had the number one seed we had the number one or number two seed in the AFC that year, and we beat the Patriots in the divisional. That was the infamous Champ Bailey got ran down by Ben Watson game. So
two Georgia Bulldogs right there.
Heard? Talking about?
Can we relax for all that? Hey, Nick. The whole show I had to before the show hear all this Georgia talk, man.
Hey, yo, it's a lot of hate going on right now. Just hate.
I ain't got nothing against Georgia, so
I got nothing against Georgia. Well,
you do have something against Georgia.
Yes, you do. That was hate.
You a hater.
That's hate.
Anyway, I'm not a hater. I'm just rooting for my squad, Ball Nation. Let's go. But I think coaching matters because I think if you get into the right situation, because you look at these quarterbacks this year, how many went to an offensive-minded coach? Caleb Williams didn't. Jaden Daniels didn't.
Nope.
Drake May didn't. Michael Penix didn't. My guy Bo Nix. Nope. Only one that did is the only one that's not playing this year, and that's JJ McCarthy. Out of the 6 quarterbacks who went in the first round, only one of them went to an offensive-minded coach. Well,
yeah, but which one of them has the best offensive coordinator out of those teams?
I'm about to say, who's the one calling the plays?
Mr. Cliff Kingsbury.
Get the fuck out of here. Fuck Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels out there tearing that ass up. Fuck
Caleb
Williams. Sorry, Nick. I know you're a USC fan, but fuck Caleb Williams.
Yeah.
Caleb Williams looking like he's turning around, but we go see. It was against the Panthers, but we go see.
And I think if you get in the right situation, you think about it.
Turning around is crazy.
All the way.
Relax. Y'all wild. Relax. All right, Break, trying to get these 3 outs. If Mahomes would have ended up with the Bears like it was, like he said, like Papa Mahomes was saying, his pops was saying, and he was saying that the Bears said they were going to draft him. Do we see the same Patrick Mahomes?
Who was the coach when he got drafted?
That
if he would have got drafted there.
The Tressman?
John Fox was the coach.
Oh, Fox, yeah.
John
Okay.
Fox, offensive coach.
No, defense. John Fox was defense.
Defensive coach. He defensive coach, yeah.
John Fox
who was the OC?
I don't know who that OC was.
I don't know who the OC was, but then they fired John Fox and hired Matt Nagy. What is Matt Nagy doing now?
Working at
Matt Nagy was
coordinator.
He was a coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. See, sometimes it might be meant to be.
Dow Loggins was the offensive coordinator for the Bears. I don't even know who that is.
All right, yeah, I'm about to say, yeah. Anyways, that name is crazy.
Okay, all right, Nick. Let's get to tier 2, bro. Go ahead and give me your tier 2 quarterbacks.
It's hold on. Candace said no, it's not weaker competition, Candace, because you got to think about it like this. Josh Allen is there's no pushover. Joe Burrow's no pushover. Lamar Jackson's no pushover. These are all MVP caliber players every single year. So I don't think that it's anything and even the younger guys, CJ Stroud, who else? Herbert. These aren't pushover quarterbacks. They just don't look as good because they have Patrick Mahomes. He got to play against.
Hold on, maybe him on a Raider success, Jet success. There's no team he can't succeed. But that's him. That's not the competition.
You think about if you go back to the Chargers before they got rid of all these receivers, you don't think he can have success with the Chargers?
Who?
Mahomes.
Mahomes can have success with these Chargers.
You think he
would have talking about he can't have success with Ladd McConkey and Quentin Johnston?
Oh yeah, I'm talking about pre-Harbaugh.
That's some AFC West bias shit right there. Sorry, John.
I'm not. Fuck the Chargers. Sorry.
If you gave him Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Hunter Henry,
that's a whole different story.
No, did you see how they look with Juju Smith-Schuster? No shot to USC, but Juju Smith-Schuster as their best receiver. Nigga,
yeah.
No, man. Get out of here. Get out of here with that, man.
He won a Super Bowl with Juju and McCole Hardman as his best receivers. I think he'll be okay. If he went to the Raiders,
he might be the GOAT to me. At least if he left the game right now, he might. No,
he's a Hall of Famer already. He's a Hall of Famer.
Patrick Mahomes can never play another snap again in the NFL. He's in the Hall of Fame tomorrow.
He'll walk in the Canton tonight.
He for sure.
He got a Joe jacket already.
Yeah.
Already yeah. No, that's
they're just waiting. They're just waiting for the call.
Yeah, that's all it is.
2 hours.
Yeah.
2 hours. That's all it is, man. I think that Patrick Mahomes being able to be successful everywhere he goes is his talent. Now, I think that Andy Reid, to your question, Cody, I think Andy Reid maximizes his success. You know what I'm saying? But I think he can be successful in wherever he goes just because of his talent.
One more out.
That's understandable, man. I agree. I mean, I think Patrick Mahomes is good, but
there it is. Get these dudes out of my city. These dudes out of my city.
Listen. Hold on, John, go out that way.
Yeah,
let me just say something. If y'all watch the show,
beg your pardon.
If y'all watch the show Tuesday, y'all should have seen how somber John was. John called me. He called me Nick. He was so flabbergasted.
Let's go.
But now look at him. That's my guy right
Let's
here, man.
Go. The emotion of a sportsman. Shut them dudes out. The dudes have not scored a run since, like Josh said, them dudes have not scored a run since Walker Buehler gave them 6 runs in the second inning.
Look at him. Ain't no dancing.
No dancing now, huh? Yeah. Where's Leia? Where's Kinsey?
Listen.
We'll see y'all. We got the Mets for you, dog. We got the Mets for you, dog. Y'all better. We got the Mets for you, dog. Don't trip.
Y'all better. Y'all better, because fuck the Mets.
We got them dudes for you. You know it. But since I blacked out, I'm sorry, Nick. What was your tier 2? Pause. I totally just ignored everything you said. What were your quarterbacks?
All right, so tier 2. Tier 2, I have Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
I got Patrick Mahomes at tier 2.
Okay.
I got John Elway at tier 2.
Not mad.
Yes. Surprisingly, yeah, I know. Raider Nation, I'm sorry, but John Elway was the man. John Elway might have been the best quarterback in the 90s.
He wasn't.
Shit.
No, don't ask me. Don't ask me. Don't ask me.
Hey, with John Elway there, where you got Brett Favre?
Brett Favre? Brett Favre was tier 2.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm about to flip out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
Nah.
with I don't care
Nah.
shit, dog.
Look.
I was
Y'all
like,
know I don't like Brett Favre, but Brett Favre is tier 2.
okay.
Hey Nick.
Yeah.
My only disagreement with that is I will probably put Aaron Rodgers and Pat Mahomes in tier 2 by themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and then put everybody else who you about to name all in tier 3. But that's just me. But go ahead. This is your team. You got the floor.
You know
All right, so
something?
give us the definition for tier 2, Nick.
So, you know something? Mark is right, because Patrick Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers are that much better than everybody else that was named after that. So yeah, them other niggas got moved to tier 3. Sorry, John, but Aaron Rodgers and Mahomes, those dudes could arguably be in GOAT well, especially Aaron Rodgers. He could arguably be in a GOAT conversation if he won like one more Super Bowl. All he needed was 2. He ain't a multiple. If he would want multiples, he'd be right up over there. But yeah, I got those 2 as tier 2. It's a very small group because those guys could easily be tier 1, but they're that much farther away from guys that are in tier 3. Now in tier 3,
I think
I
that
moved.
Hold on, Nick.
Go ahead.
I think tier 2. What's up, Sonny?
Hey, Sonny.
I think tier 2.
What up, baby?
I think tier 2 will eventually get to tier 1.
Yeah.
I do think that both of them will be. It will all be a big ass dinner table. When it comes to that top tier, and then everybody who's in tier 3 will be tier 2.
Oh yeah, very much so. That's why I said you can easily say those 2 could be in tier 1. But the guys in tier 1 are so far ahead of those guys in tier 2. It's just yeah. When you're a top tier quarterback, dog, it's a different thing. Now in tier 3, I have Drew Brees in tier 3.
All right.
So the reason why I have Drew Brees in tier 3 is this. First and foremost, you can't have Drew Brees in tier 1 because he has no MVP. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm like no MVP, and I understand he's put up some record-breaking seasons, and he didn't win MVP.
Only Super Bowl MVP.
He's won Super Bowl MVP, yes. And even this Super Bowl has controversy to it, but we'll talk about that for a different day. But you can't tell somebody that you're tier 1 when you've never won the award that shows that you were tier 1 at one point in your career. That's just like you trying to say somebody is the GOAT in basketball that's never won a championship or won MVP. You'd be like, what are you doing? You can't be the top. You can't be the best guy. It's impossible. So that's the reason why I have him at tier 3. Plus, I don't think he's better than any of the quarterbacks that are in tier 1 and 2. And that's no knock on Drew Brees. Drew Brees just happened to be a great quarterback in a league of elite quarterbacks.
That's the problem I think we have with some of these quarterbacks is great quarterbacks, and then there's just greater quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like Drew Brees, when you look at the stats, like I'm not what Cody is saying, he's right with that. You know what I'm saying? Like when you look at the stats, you can put his stats alongside anybody, and it measures up. But sometimes it goes to watching the game.
For sure.
And for me, it is no shot at Drew Brees. When it comes to watching the game, it's just quarterbacks did more than he did. That's why I have them higher than I have him. And there's no shot at him. Like, I'm not saying he wasn't great. I'm not saying he's not first ballot Hall of Fame. He is a great quarterback. One of the greatest I've seen.
Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt about it.
Yeah, but when it comes to, like I said, for me, when it comes to the 5 that we named, I don't think that he's at the table with them 5. I think that if there's a table right next to it, it might be. I don't want to step on your 3, but it might be a Drew Brees, a John Elway, Jim Kelly, all of them who's really great but not there. I think that's where that is. And I'm not, what I'm saying, and that's just me watching quarterbacks and who play quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
What did y'all make of listening? Y'all heard the Cam Jordan comments. He was clearly being a homer, right?
I thought
no doubt about it.
I'd say that.
He was just defending his boy. He won a Super Bowl with him. He played with him for a long time. That was his quarterback.
I'm not mad at that because when it comes to my homies and the people who I'm close to, I'm biased as hell too.
Right.
So I get that. I'm not mad at that. So get your shit off. You know what I'm saying?
Where's Cam
Newton? Oh, he on ESPN.
Yeah. He's not, look, Candace, look. And Candace, this is coming from somebody who is a big Cam Newton fan when he played. Cam Newton is not on the tier with these guys.
He like tier 10.
Like that's high.
That's high. That's crazy.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no. Cam is on ESPN, Candace.
Yeah.
On ESPN.
Now, if Cam Newton would have won a Super Bowl, he would have had a very unique career.
Sorry.
Cam could have won that Super Bowl. He still would have been on tier 10. I still watched him play.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Look, Peyton's in tier 1. You heard what Nick said. But since you said brothers, where's Eli?
Nobody's putting Eli in any of these tiers that I just said, except for a Giants fan.
Kirk Cousins. Who?
Kirk Cousins.
Also, time for them.
Let me check. They just texted me. Kirk Cousins. They comparable. It says 750.
That's
5
funny.
minutes. Oh,
but
man.
Cam Newton. No. Eli would be like 4 or 5 for me. Like he's not tier 3. No way. Roethlisberger is tier 3 before Eli is.
Eli and Terry Bradshaw the same quarterback to me. Never mind. But go ahead.
Eli's definitely better than Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw might be the most overrated quarterback we talk about.
Yeah. I have to agree.
Like Tig say Eli is 4 for 5th tier.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I would have him somewhere around there. Because I don't think that people are looking like I'm crazy, but Eli's not better than Tony Romo. I don't care. There's no way that anybody can convince me that Eli Manning is better than Tony Romo. There's no way.
Hey, Cody, I see your face. If you look at Tony Romo's stats,
I don't care about those Super Bowl wins, what he did in the playoffs. I do not care. I saw this guy play. He is not better at all. He's not better at anything besides being on a better team than Tony Romo.
He got a better last name. Man, Cody, what you think?
Well, I think I again have to go a little bit off of that one. I think he is better than Tony Romo. Stats don't lie. 57,000 passing yards. Man, Tony Romo. I liked Tony Romo a lot coming out. Like I was a big proponent of Tony Romo when he started at CBS, but I think the longer he's been around, the more disdain I have for that guy. But like it's just like Tony Romo's probably in my head, maybe 6 or 7 tier. Like he's better than Cam Newton. Yeah.
No way. There's no way.
But okay, so Nick, to your point, I wanted to say something about your tier 2, how you just moved Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes in the list to tier 2. I personally rated my quarterbacks as if they're retired or not retired. Now, I think that how you said that Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes could be in tier 1, absolutely. But they're not retired. Their career is not finished. So I think that you should like this is mine. I liked your tier 2 the way that you had it until you moved them in there by themselves. I think that they're like an asterisk off here to the side. That's an offshoot of the tree. And then they'll slide nicely into either tier 1 or tier 2 once their career is over. But if we're comparing them all together, obviously, but as it stands right now, I think that they're in the active column and they could be tier 1 or tier 2. So they're fluid right now. But I liked your tier 2 the way you had it to begin with before you added them in their own special tier, just because they're simply playing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because Aaron Rodgers has the highest career passer rating of any quarterback of all time.
I'm not mad at that.
But he's active right now.
And see, that's what I was saying. Like, those two have to be in a category by themselves, because what Cody is saying, when they both retire, they probably, more than likely, unless you can't change nothing, they're going to be in tier 1. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that can happen that can change that. So I agree with Cody is saying, like, that's why I put those two together, because those two will be there no matter what. Eli or Carr?
I hope you're talking about Derek and not David.
Yeah, David Carr is a bust.
No, listen. Do you realize that Eli Manning has thrown 20 interceptions in a season 3 times?
Yeah.
That's over half. That is over half of the interceptions that Aaron Rodgers has on his career. He did that in 3 seasons. Put that into perspective.
Brett Favre threw 60 more in his career, more than any other player ever.
And he's way better than Eli Manning. Eli Manning is not better. What makes Eli Manning better than Tony Romo?
Because he beat Tom Brady.
If you put Tony Romo, if you switch places, what's going on with those teams?
You saying you put you put Tony Romo in New York?
Yes.
Eli, Eli's 11 all time in passes completed. He's
right.
Tony Romo's not even in the top 20, not even in the top 30 passes completed.
You think Barber retires with a ring? No.
You think Tony Romo retires with a ring if he played in New York?
Yes. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think they go to the playoffs more because he's not throwing as many interceptions. Because a lot of those interceptions were directly on Eli being a doofus for some apparent reason throughout the game.
I mean, he has quite.
And I like Eli Manning.
He's number 12. He's 11, basically 11 on every quarterback passing list, and that includes passes intercepted. So
I have seen these two play. There is no way that he is better than Tony Romo. Tony Romo, and I'm not even a Cowboys fan. Tony Romo was ridiculously nice when he played. I think that he got hit with the Cowboys hate. That's the reason why his career is the way it is.
Yep. When you have
because if he's on a different team, you know who Tony Romo is? Tony Romo is Brock Purdy.
I have another Brock Purdy comparison, and niggas gonna be mad at that. And I heard this about 2 years ago. Drew Brees.
Yeah. For sure. I can see that.
When I first heard it 2 years ago, I said, get off my phone with the bullshit.
Okay, so we're here. Nick, where does Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan fall in this? Are they 4? Are they 3? Are they 5?
All right, so look, both of the guys that you just named,
cooking.
Hey, Coach,
Hey,
Coach, that's
all right,
a
we
question,
cooking
Coach.
tonight. All right, we cooking tonight. Okay, let's go.
Hold on. Before we do this,
All right.
Nick, you go
So
ahead.
I'm never gonna get invited back to this place.
no, you're fine.
I'm never gonna get invited back. They're like, fuck that baller's
No,
a
you
great liar.
ain't.
Tell
You
us
welcome back. You
shit
coming back
all
on
over.
No,
No,
you coming back on Tuesday because we gotta talk some fantasy football, bro. You ain't
Nah.
man.
those are legit questions because those are the quarterbacks you just said are very, very good quarterbacks.
And people are arguing neither one should be in the Hall of Fame, Nick, which is crazy.
Both of them
Other
should
people
be.
arguing
They're
that
not.
Philip Rivers is in the Hall of Fame.
They both are.
There's no way. First and foremost, let's put this into perspective. So Matt Ryan won MVP when he was over there at the Falcons. Now,
How many
that
years
year,
did Ryan have?
Matt Ryan played for like what? Like was it like?
He got drafted in 08.
What like?
Yeah,
Like 18?
I mean, he got drafted in 08.
It had to be. It was only 5 years.
Well, he won MVP in 2016. After the MVP year, it kind of.
He was definitely good for longer than 5 years in the league.
Maybe like a 5-6 year run for like the teams in the, like 2010 to like 2016.
He was 8 years. He was 8 years in the league. And he was 8 years in when he won an MVP. He was drafted in 08.
Yeah. Right.
Now look, people don't remember this either because they lost in the Super Bowl, obviously. But that team is ranked as I think they're tied with the greatest show on turf as the 7th best offense of all time. That is a fact. A lot of people do not know that. If they would have won, then everything would have been, all that would have been in perspective. But obviously, Kyle Shanahan doesn't know how to win a Super Bowl, so I don't know what the hell's went on with that one.
Take Super Bowls out, just big games.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh no. Yeah. It's definitely that. He definitely does that. But yeah, I actually have them in. I have them around like tier 3 and 4. I actually have them most closer towards 3 because with Phillip Rivers.
Who's all in your tier 2, Nick?
My tier 2?
Yeah, because we heard Patrick, we heard whoever you, John Elway or whoever it was, and then
it was originally it was them two with John Elway and Dan Marino. Those are my guys. That was tier 2.
Was Favre there too?
Oh yeah, Favre. My fault. There we go.
Yeah, Favre.
Yeah, Favre. And I'm not a big Brett Favre fan, but there's no denying he was what he was on the football field. So and he was definitely one of the better quarterbacks. If there's any look between him and John Elway, you could choose who was the best quarterback in the 90s.
We're talking QB, Sam and Paco. We're talking QB. It's QB talk tonight.
Yeah.
So this has been a good conversation. We know how to keep this going.
Hold on. Before you continue, do you think that
come on, Paco, that's too easy.
What do you say? Breeze or Romo?
That's not even close.
Come on now. Come on, Paco. We all know the question. We all know the answer to that one. It's definitely Drew Brees. If you're choosing.
What you said in the group chat earlier. Brees
Which
or
one?
Ben Roethlisberger. That's the
Drew
question.
Brees or Ben Roethlisberger?
Brees or Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, I got Brees slightly, only because I think that Roethlisberger could have been. I think injuries and obvious off the field issues slowed down what really could have been something for Roethlisberger's career. And I think that Roethlisberger was one of those guys that you were a great quarterback playing amongst elites.
This is not a debate for me. I have Breeze really easy.
Mm-hmm. I'm not mad at it.
And it's not really close for me. If we go on Breeze and Roethlisberger, I got Breeze really easy. It's not really close.
I'm not mad at it.
Talking about Nick has done his QB tiers list.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this all is stimulating. This all is coming from Cam Jordan's having him as the GOAT. Now we all knew that was just a bunch of Saints homerism in and out in his language.
Yeah, we've been hearing a lot of that all day.
Got in the lab and cooked up a list of tiers of QB tiers.
Nick, you said tier 2 was who?
Tier 2 was
Breeze.
Breeze and I had it Breeze, Elway, and Favre.
Go ahead, Cody.
Oh no, I mean I don't disagree with that at all. I think if tier 2 and this again, like if this my tier 2 is a little bit different, obviously, because I have Breeze in tier 1. So, but I agree with Elway. I agree with Favre, Marino. I think you said Marino earlier. Yeah. Marino, Favre, Elway, and mine that I'm adding to that list is who you guys just said, Ben Roethlisberger. I like Ben there because, and here's the reason I'm going to use Nick's argument for this. I would love to have Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan there, but neither one of them have a championship. So I think Ben Roethlisberger's championships and him having more passing yards in his career than both Phillip and Matt Ryan put him in that group where they're not. I think that's the thing. And I mean, so I think that I love all of them. My tier 2 is a little bit bigger. Tier 1 is smaller, but tier 2 is a little bit bigger. And I think every tier, personally, as you go down, it kind of gets a little bit larger. And then when you're down, it's like past like 5 or 6, and I'm done. I'm
not going past tier like 4 or 5. Like
I'm not arguing quarterbacks.
It starts to get ridiculous. At that point, it starts to get like a preference type of thing.
Right, we're not putting like Andy Dalton in this conversation, man. We're going
John. I don't even know why you even said Andy Dalton. You could have been saying somebody else. Like you could have said like, oh,
wait. Go back up to the
nigga said Andy Dalton. Like that, you could have said Jay Cutler or somebody over Andy Dalton.
So Sam says as great as he was, I can't put him in my top 5 QB because he's ringless. That I disagree with that, Sam. Because before Dan Marino, I mean, I'll let Mark handle that situation. Leonard Buchanan, good to see you again, brother. Was Dan Fouts?
I have Dan Fouts in tier 4.
I have Dan Marino way above Dan Fouts.
Dan
Marino did what he did in a running era.
We're
watching. He never had a wide receiver either. Mark Clayton was about it.
Mark Clayton and
he never had a running back.
That's it.
That's what I'm saying. No,
Chuck Muncie.
Tier 1 Brady, Steve. All right, I'm out of here.
Whoa.
That's a guy. There's a guy there. I'm gonna pull up my Chris Collinsworth. There's a guy. Steve Young. No, don't even come with me with that 49ers homer shit. That guy does
he's not even a Niner fan.
Oh, okay. Paco, I'm sorry if you're not a Niners fan, but that sounds like that's like fucking 49ers bias. That guy couldn't do shit.
Steve Young tier 1 is crazy.
He couldn't even do shit with Tampa. He was a nobody in Tampa, a left-handed running quarterback that sucked, and then ended up on 49ers playing behind a guy that we have in tier 1.
Man,
it's like calling fucking Matt Castle tier 1. That's literally in my head calling Matt Castle. Like, God damn.
Jody,
like,
don't ever say you're not coming on the show again, bro.
I'm never gonna come on this show ever again. I'm never gonna get to come on this show again.
He says Steve Young is tier 1. That's funny.
That's funny.
That's tripping.
That's funny, dog. That's a dang, man. That's funny. Dog. That's funny. That's a good one. Oh man.
I would have Steve Young probably like tier 3 or 4.
I think so. He could be there. He could be 3 or 4.
Matter of fact, Steve Young is tier 3. Steve Young was nice when he was
just said, man.
No, it's only funny because nobody put Steve Young in the tier 1. Not ever.
That's funny.
I've seen a lot, but if you go out on Twitter, man, there's a lot of arguments about Steve Young being a top 5 quarterback of all time. And I don't.
And Steve Young don't put Steve Young in a top tier category.
Please, man.
Yeah.
He's not even.
He's
literally not even in the top 35 in passing yards.
Hey, relax. Cool.
Steve Young better than Vic?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
But who was that conversation we had at Will House that night? what was it when O was still in town? What was it, Labor Day?
Mm-hmm.
We was having that conversation, and everyone was making the argument for Michael Vick. I'm like, oh yeah, let's slow down, dude.
No, Michael Vick is not better than Steve Young. He's more athletic than Steve Young. But no, as a passer, it's not. No. Vic didn't figure out how to pass the ball consistently until he got with Andy Reid.
Clearly,
I like
Yeah,
Paco.
he-
Paco's my guy
like-
now. Paco, subscribe to Ballers and Briefs and come check us out tomorrow night. We're going live tomorrow night, so we'd love to have you over there too. Sorry, trying to take.
Paco,
Peyton is tier 1.
Peyton is tier 1, Paco. John Elway better than Dan. Sam, go home. He is better than Dan Fouts.
Look, yeah.
And-
Don't ask me about Elway as far as quarterbacks.
And what I will say is he's in the same tier with Dan Marino to me. If we're going over the overall scope of quarterbacks, Dan Marino and John Elway is in the same tier.
Mm.
I'm not mad.
Hey, where's Warren Moon at?
Good.
Fuck that guy.
Fuck
Fuck that guy.
Oh shit! I don't know why I asked a Texas fan about Warren Moon. My bad.
Wait.
I used to love Warren Moon. I was a big Warren Moon guy, but I fucking hate that guy now. Sorry, I'm out here cussing all over y'all, so I'm gonna get demonetized and everything, huh?
Why you hate Warren Moon now?
Because man, he is such a big, like he's forgotten the city that made him. He's forgotten. He hates. He is such a hater when it comes to Houston now. He is such a. I'm a big Tennessee Titan. Bitch, you never played in Tennessee. You never played in Nashville. You were a Seattle guy and a fucking Houston guy.
And
Don't
Minnesota.
Minnesota and CFL. He was a Toronto Argonaut, maybe, or was he a Montreal Alouette?
He's a CFL legend. He's the Tom Brady of CFL.
That's what I'm saying. So don't shit on the city that made you. And
yeah, that's real.
That's what he
does.
True. He's such a Titans dick rider. Excuse me. That's like my thing. And then the whole thing about like this year when we trying to change our uniforms and everything, he was like, "Oh, that's a Tennessee thing. It's not a Houston thing." I'm like, bro, don't even come at me with that shit. So I
Cody, you just educated me because I did not know he was.
I didn't know that
about his roots with the Oilers. Me personally, I know he calls games on the radio for the Seahawks.
Yeah,
so
he's never given back to the city of Houston the way that people held him on a pedestal for years. And then when the Oilers left to go to Tennessee, it's like you never hear him say anything good about Houston. It's always bad about Houston, or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it never heard him say anything good about it. And I'm like, dude, no one would really know. I don't think anybody would know who he was if it wasn't for his time with the Oilers.
That was his kickstart.
Paco said Dan Marino or John Elway. I have Dan Marino.
I have John Elway.
I'm gonna add that.
I have Dan Marino as well, but I don't think you can go wrong with either choice.
I don't think you can.
Ken Anderson, the old Bengals could be before Boomer Esiason was underrated. Ken Anderson was good.
Hold on. We're talking about guys that matter.
Right. Who the hell is Don Anderson?
I think he met Ken Anderson. He misspelled Ken Anderson.
Nobody cares about Ken Anderson.
Houston Oilers best uniforms in the
fuck is Ken?
Well, exactly. Ken Anderson does not matter in this conversation.
Yeah, Joe Montana said he didn't matter when we smoked the Bengals in the Super Bowl too.
Sean, what the hell happened to your voice?
He said
you know what happened.
Yo, chill. He said he didn't matter when we smoked the Bengals in the Super Bowl either. But that's a whole nother conversation. Man, this has been good conversation. This quarterback talk. Nick, when you text me, Nick, and said you want to do this tier list, I knew we was gonna cook up a classic episode. And then when Cody hits me up, he just saw the thumbnail. It was like, yo, I gotta be on. I knew tonight was gonna be
well, y'all know I'm always down for quarterback talks.
Right. Chill, Tig.
Cody, I play quarterback. So I love quarterback play, and I hate bad quarterback play.
I agree.
I was a safety, so I literally used to just look you guys in the face all the time. So yeah.
And so I love having this quarterback talk, and people who opinions is different from mine. I love it.
Absolutely.
And when you can express why, and rather than just saying that's cool.
I have one. And this is an active quarterback question. This guy's still active.
Go ahead.
Two of them actually. Where does Matthew Stafford rank on the in as active quarterbacks? And Joe Flacco? Where does Joe Flacco rank?
What you mean? In all time? In these tiers?
I'm saying if like I told you, my tier, like I pull mine out and as active, right? So tier one of active quarterbacks would be Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Just in your brain, in a quick tier number, where would Matthew Stafford? What tier would Matthew Stafford did compared to like that you already talked about?
Okay.
And then Joe Flacco.
So you want active players.
Active players.
All right. So active players tier one would be Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers. Well, he's not playing like a tier one right now, so I can't put him right there.
I'm using all time. Let's all time.
Okay.
Not just right now.
Them two.
All-time stats, career.
Lamar Jackson is a tier one quarterback. As far as actors, Josh Allen is. So those are the guys who are tier ones. Tier twos are the guys. The CJ Stroud made a hell of a leap from being a rookie to tier two very fast in his career. He's tier, huh?
Burrow.
Did I say Burrow?
Nah.
Oh, my fault. No, Burrow's tier one.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt about that. Come on now. Yeah, Burrow's he's tier one for sure. Who's an NFC quarterback that could be tier one?
Nobody. Purdy might be the best quarterback.
Purdy, Stafford would be Stafford would probably be is Stafford really?
Stafford is tier two.
If you go career wise, Stafford is the best in the NFC.
And he's tier two.
But if you're going playing right now, Purdy is the best quarterback in the NFC.
Or Sam Darnold.
I'm not mad at that neither.
Hey, shout out to USC. Sam Darnold is balling. I don't know how long it's going to last for. Jordan Love is not. No, Jordan Love's not the best quarterback in the NFC.
No, Jordan Love is out of here. Jalen Hurts, no.
It hurts to watch him play.
No.
I wish people just listening when I say y'all quarterbacks are
sorry. Tell Cody your Jalen Hurts tape. Hey, Cody, you got to hear this. You got to hear this. Tell me your Jalen Hurts tape.
I don't know what I said.
You said he was, mind you, a certain quarterback from Chicago by way of Pittsburgh.
Oh, Justin Fields. I
think I heard. I was on the show when he said that. I was in the comments when he said that. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. But 2 years ago, you asked me. I believe Jalen Hurts was elite tier one.
I think Justin Fields always been a great. He's been the quarterback he is with a great offensive coordinator.
Another guy I have a lot of disdain for, Justin Fields, and Mark, you should know why.
Because he bailed on Georgia for Ohio State. I get it.
Yeah, because he don't like competition.
Yeah, so that's that. But I mean, in the NFL, he is what it is. But Jalen Hurts, I had a lot of love from him because I saw his high school career and those kinds of things, and I really thought he was going to be something special. And I thought he was special, but again, I guess that was just the defense and Shane Steichen just making him who he was. Now, let's play devil's advocate here. If he was in Indianapolis with Shane Steichen instead of Anthony Richardson, I think he would be back in that conversation. I just feel like they haven't maximized his talent since Steichen's left because the offensive coordinators have been such influx. Sirianni.
But that's what I was saying when I said he's a good quarterback. I'm not knocking him, but the offensive coordinator matters for him.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes.
And so I like quarterbacks who can be great or great. It don't matter who's there. You know what I'm saying? Like we can switch offensive coordinators and we still gonna be great here.
What about Jay? Paco says Jaden Daniels the best quarterback in the NFC right now.
Fantasy wise, hell yeah, he is. Fantasy he is for my fantasy take. Hell yeah.
We ain't talking about fantasy football, but he's going crazy in fantasy football.
Yes.
He is going crazy in fantasy football.
I will talk about him ad nauseum tomorrow night. So y'all jump over that into that conversation.
I'm gonna be there.
Me too. Yeah, definitely.
Paco, it's too early for me to put him that high because he could easily lose 3 games in a row and we're wondering what the hell happened to Jaden Daniels. So
get that rookie ball real quick.
Because it's funny because after the first week, everybody was shitting on Jaden Daniels.
exactly.
To be honest. And Caleb Williams.
And see that's why it's too soon. 5 games is too soon for Jaden Daniels. He's playing great right now. It's too soon for me to even put him up there with some of these people who's been here year in and year out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. For sure.
The exact same thing was going to happen with CJ last season. So yeah, I agree.
Which I think happens.
I love CJ.
What y'all think about how y'all feeling about Sunday, seeing the battle of the DMV? Him and Lamar, and I gotta give Jaden Daniels credit because they kind of took, they tried to do the lazy comparing him and Lamar. He's like, no, we're and he didn't take the BS, which good for him. But obviously, he wants to try to carve out a legacy where he wants to be like a Lamar Jackson. Yeah, go ahead, Paco. Cody, you can ask Cody a question. Just go ahead and put it in the chat. We'll read it on right now. But
they would get their ass whooped. I'm putting that out there.
Jared Soft, Joe. Yeah, Jared. Wait, is Joe Burrow sliding? Do you see what Joe Burrow is? See, y'all looking at the record.
No, look at Joe. Go look at what Joe Burrow.
Are you crazy?
No, he's going crazy. Joe
Burrow got the best quarterback numbers in the league right now. He's going crazy.
Joe Burrow is really balling right now.
Paco said,
"Hey,
our guys are Ducks, Cody. Tomorrow, Oregon or Ohio State."
I think it's in Columbus, right? Or is it in Oregon? Is it in
Yeah, it's in Columbus. No, it's in Oregon. It's at Oregon. I'm wrong. It's in Oregon.
Oh, it's in Oregon?
Yeah, because game day's there. Oh,
yeah. Because Pat McAfee was there today. So, I mean, I like what's a coach in Oregon? Dan Mullen. Dan Lanning. Dan Lanning. Yeah, Dan Lanning. Right. But be honest. But to be, this is UGA of in the Big Ten. Big Ten now.
You didn't even know it, Nick. Of course, y'all gonna like Dan Lanning. He was out DC, man.
Yeah, he. Man,
I need him back.
Yeah, we. According, it's over 55 and a half points, and they're 3-point dogs at home. Boy, I like that. I like Oregon 3-point dogs at home. I think
Oregon about to win.
I think Oregon does this. I think that Ohio State goes in there thinking that, this is a Pac-12 team that can go over here and bust their ass like this. And I think that they might go in there and mess up. I hope that they do, because I don't like Ohio State, but so I'm going Oregon. I'll take Oregon. I'll take it 35% of America.
All right, so I have a story to tell before we end the show.
Candace said, I don't know how Burrow is not 3rd or 4th tier. Candace,
have you watched him play?
What he is doing with
Candace? Don't look at the team record.
He's first in every category.
Don't listen to Chris Canty.
Look at what the quarterback is doing.
Don't listen to Chris Canty. Look at Joe Burrow is setting. He didn't lose that game on Sunday to Baltimore.
Nope.
Now when you throwing
their defense is trash.
The receiver for OSU is going crazy. He is. I said Buffalo should take him.
No.
Relax.
So
all right, my bad.
Mike Shanahan was on so we were talking about Jaden Daniels earlier. Mike Shanahan was on a podcast this week. I don't know if I saw this.
I didn't.
And he talked about his time in Washington when he had RG3. So obviously this was the last time that a lot of Washington football fans were really excited about a QB, even though Kirk Cousins was serviceable. He said he begged Dan Snyder at RG3's height to trade him and try to get 3-1s before everybody figures out he's not that good.
Sell high, full on sell high fantasy football mentality right there.
Exactly.
Wait.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mike
Look.
Shanahan, remember, Mike Shanahan was the coach, was RG3's coach. His rookie
Mike
year.
Shanahan was wrong. RG3's career went the way it did because of an injury.
But I think he was saying this before the unloading out of hit.
Well, if he said that beforehand, he's an idiot.
Because remember, they drafted RG3 and Kirk Cousins in the same draft.
That's because he never wanted to draft RG3.
Oh, yeah, of course, I know.
He never wanted to draft him. But it was a good pick because if we all remember RG3's rookie year, it looked like he really didn't have too many flaws in his game. He was, you know, you can see the rookie wall or whatever. But
you know what?
Hey, relax.
All right.
But you can see where you're like, all right, this guy has the skill set to be an elite quarterback. But you know, he was athletic enough, excuse me, so that he can get away from everybody in the pocket. He was a good enough passer to get everything going. Their defense is good enough to play with the offense or whatever. But the injury happened, and I mean, Kirk Cousins not bad.
Before the injury happened, could he read the defense?
He was a rookie, Mark. We don't know. He never got a chance.
He never wanted him.
If a rookie can't read the defense, they can learn how to read.
He went to high school with Dan Snyder's son, so that's why Dan Snyder really wanted to draft him. And remember they traded up. They traded up 6-2 to draft him. But the Rams had the number 2 pick originally that year.
I never RG3 fan. But so salute. I never was sold on Duke.
And neither was Mike Shanahan, apparently.
He had a great rookie. He had a really good rookie year, though.
He never got a chance to have a really good second year.
Just like
did he have a chance to learn how to slide? All right.
You got to ask. Never mind.
Hey, yo.
That 2012 draft was a shit show to say the least. guys like Trent Richardson and Justin Blackman. Yeah, Justin Blackman at 5, Mo Claiborne at 6. They all took these guys over the likes of Luke Kuechly and Stephon Gilmore and Chandler Jones and Riley Reif and dudes like that we know. Dante Hightower. I'm just
and Courtney Upshaw.
Yeah,
I'm glad he put more Stephon Gilmore. You heard?
Imagine, man, Justin Blackman. I thought that dude was going. He was just, man. He took too much of the sauce, man.
Well,
he could have stopped smoking.
I lived in Jacksonville. It was alcohol. I lived in Jacksonville when he was there, and
he had a couple of DUIs, dude.
Oh yeah, it was multiple. Dude couldn't stay out. Like I lived in Jacks at the time when he was there, and that was just.
Oh, he's an idiot.
Taking Trent Richardson at number 3 was insane.
At the time, it looked like the right choice. But y'all want to hear something though? On the real, this is when you should have known that Trent Richardson was a red flag. They were talking to Nick Saban, and they were talking about Trent Richardson, how great he was, or whatever. He said, "Oh, you think he's great? Wait till you see his backup." And this is after he won the Heisman.
And by the way, for those who don't know, who was his backup?
That backup was that Derrick Henry?
Yes,
TJ Yeldon, wasn't it?
It was Derrick Henry.
But they
was
had
it not TJ Yeldon? Yeah,
it was TJ Yeldon.
And I believe Alvin Kamara was on that team as well.
Yes,
it was.
Yes,
he was.
Thank you, Alabama, for having so many running backs, because that allowed us to go for him to transfer to Tennessee. Let's go. Shout out to Kamara. But
fuck him and fuck Alabama.
Hey,
and fuck Tennessee.
Hey man, just because y'all had like 20 million running backs.
But you know what the thing is? Nobody ever gives us any love about all the running backs and all the players that we put in the NFL.
Oh,
Hey Cody,
you gotta be kidding me.
Hey Cody, I said Georgia's running back university, and I think it was you who said no. Georgia's everything university.
What? Nobody gave y'all love for all the running backs from Garrett Harris, Terrell Davis, Nick Chubb, Todd Gurley, Sony Michel.
No, if you don't know shit, you don't know Sean.
No, Sean Moreno, who we took in the first round.
John,
fantasy football guy.
We
took him in the first round.
Every time I played back, and I took him off your team. I'm pushing right on Buffalo. Come on.
He just had to deal with the fact that he had to deal with Peyton. I mean, I think with Peyton, he looked at like Roshan Moreno in Georgia, but then the first couple of years he had to struggle because our quarterback played. We traded Kyle. We traded Jay Cutler and Kyle Morton.
Nick gets to, Mark gets to see one there in Buffalo. James Cook.
I love James Cook.
He's good.
I love James Cook. And I've been telling everybody, watch out for Nate Frazier coming up, the freshman out of Compton. Once he learns how to pass block, he gonna be that dude at Georgia.
DeAndre Swift. I mean, I could go on all night.
Yeah, never mind.
Man,
what you say, Nick?
Nothing. Y'all go ahead, man.
I can't say shit, but because Nick's teams had to arguably one of, if not the best college running back of all time, one of. Reggie Bush.
I mean, when you a great running back at USC, you win a Heisman. So we do have the most Heisman winning running backs.
Marcus Allen, OJ. I mean,
come on, man.
All right. Yeah, let's get the call now.
I just need them to play better in the NFL.
I'm ready.
USC offensive players didn't play well in the NFL. That's crazy.
And then we gotta give our party words to our football squads for the weekend. All right, so Cody, you're gonna be a part of a segment that is often imitated, is never duplicated. It's our boy Dolomite segment where some people will say stuff in the media where they need to be called out. So this is the time that we do it. This is the time for calling down names, and I'm gonna lead it off because I only got one person on calling down names, and that's Skip Bayless. Skip Bayless did an interview with the Washington Post. What the fuck? Skip Bayless.
For what?
He did an interview with the Washington Post, telling the Washington Post he had lost his passion for sports debate ever since. Listen to this, fellas. And people in the chat. Ever since Fox pushed Shannon Sharp out the door, he really wanted the Shannon Sharp back, and they pushed him out the door. Skip Bayless. You pushed
next
Shannon
subject
Sharp out the door. Question
stupid ass Skip Bayless.
Gobbling Tom Brady, basically saying that, questioning Shannon Sharp's Hall of Fame credentials. Then, when he tried to explain himself from taking the show off after the DeMar Hamlin situation, you still couldn't shut your mouth. So
which DeMar Hamlin? The real one or the fake one?
The real one. Hey man, you gotta understand. This dude was doing this ever since last year.
Hey, you gotta come. Y'all gotta come to the show and talk to DFS Phil about this shit because we talk about cloning all the time. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Here, you lost your passion. No, nobody just want to F with you, bro.
Deshaun Watson the clone too.
Yeah.
Of what? Never mind.
No, he a fusion.
That's why he's trash right
now. He playing like Deshaun Watson?
No, he playing. Well, wow, that's funny.
We call him Rub and Tug here.
Oh
Lord, that's crazy.
Hey, we call them Rub and Tug too.
Yo, you all right?
All right, my call name is Stephen A. Smith, man.
Why now?
I just didn't like the tone of, if you was to get arrested, I'd be okay with it. Like, I know he playing bad dog, but we gotta stop that.
That was funny, man.
That was funny. I didn't laugh at that one bit.
I was like, I know what he was saying though.
I know you do.
I know what he was saying because basically he's stealing money.
No, he over there. Never mind. He over there tap dancing.
By the way, Deshaun Watson, the only quarterback to have 2 QBRs below 10. I didn't know you can have a.
Listen, I'm not saying he's not playing bad. I just don't like the words of, if he was to get arrested, I'd be okay with it. That's my whole thing. I just don't like that. He is playing like shit.
By the way, would y'all go to Jameis? By the way, Stefanski should be calling our name. Your coach, Paco, saying, well, he's still our quarterback. Would y'all go to Jameis?
Paco said, bye, Deshaun.
Well, clearly, Paco gave us his answer.
They can't afford to have Deshaun Watson go to the bench. That's the reason why he won't get better. Because he knows no matter what he does, he has a job.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, Aaron Rodgers.
It's like when you're a dude and you keep cheating on your girl, you know she gonna take you back. Oh wait,
You ain't never gonna stop.
By the way, Aaron Rodgers is gonna call our names too. If anybody, did any of y'all have Aaron Rodgers?
No.
Oh,
KC,
I didn't
KC, you absolutely correct.
I had no idea that they was gonna fire my Robert Saleh. He said the owner just called to see how I was doing because I rolled my ankle. Me and Robert have a good relationship. False. You said the same thing when the Packers fired Mike McCarthy, bro.
Man, I seen him try to hug you, and
you hit him with the Heisman.
Yeah, you gave him the Derrick Henry stiff one. I seen that. He treated him like he was Josh Norman on the field.
No, not that.
Mark, get out. What I did? All right.
Yeah, get out of here.
Cody, you got anybody on calling out names?
I mean, this is no offense to you, Mark, but the whole NFL and NFLPA, that was bullshit. Josh Allen should have never come back in the ball game the last weekend.
I'm not mad at that.
That was concussion all the way. That'd have been Tua. They'd have stretchered him off, strapped him to a backboard, and his ass would have never come out of a tunnel ever again. Right. It would have been anybody else. It'd have been anybody else. It'd have been Patrick Mahomes. It'd have been Lamar, somebody like that. It'd have been anybody other than Josh Allen's big ass in a game where the NFL wants the darling to be on the TV at that moment in time. His ass wouldn't have come back because he just it felt like to me like he's like, fuck what y'all got to say. I'm putting my helmet back on. I'm running back out on the field. So I'll just call out the NFL for saying, oh, both of our spotters said he didn't have a concussion. Okay. That's my thing.
I'm not mad at that because when I was watching that game, I said he should have set the rest of that game out.
That's why he went 9 for 30.
He was 9 for 30.
Yeah, it was way before that, but I mean, he smacked his head hard, dude. And I think anybody else they might have let Mahomes play, but anybody else they'd have said, nah, you gotta rest, dude. Your team's getting their ass smoked, and even though you're in the red zone, Trubisky can handle it for you. By the way, shout out to the Deshaun Watson and Patrick Mahomes draft.
Nick, you got anybody for calling out names?
Yes, I have Trail on calling out names. Trail's on calling out names for the whole reason why this whole show is going on right now, for saying that Drew Brees and Peyton Manning on the same tier. That's how all this started. No. But it ended up making a good show, so it's all right.
No, did he say Drew Brees is as good as Peyton Manning?
He said that too.
No, that's why he's gonna call down name.
And ladies and gentlemen,
5 MVPs.
That's calling out names. Before we get up out of here, we want to thank Cody from Ballers and Bricks Fantasy Sports Podcast for joining us tonight. He's going to be back with us on Tuesday. So if you got any fantasy football questions or fantasy sports questions or sports betting questions, this is going to be the man who has.
Hey, I got a question right now.
Go ahead, Mark.
Just let me get my shit off right now, all right?
Excuse me?
Cody, you're relaxed, Nick. Watch him. You tripping. Cody. And my whole existence of playing fantasy football, right? I had the number 1 pick twice.
Did they get hurt both times?
The first time I picked David Johnson when he was with Arizona.
Oh, man.
He tore his ACL.
Okay.
This year, I had number 1 pick. Shout out to our fantasy football league. I picked Christian McCaffrey. What you got? What should I do? Should I just give number 1 pick and trade with somebody, or what?
To be honest with you, I have experienced that in the 20 plus years I've been playing fantasy football. I believe I've had number 1 pick in multiple leagues 5 to 7 times, and it's always been the same. I ended up with Christian McCaffrey both times he's been out. Jonathan Taylor, the year that he was out. It's always been that for me. So I absolutely have disdain in my heart for the number 1 spot. I would, if you if you're playing with your boys or whatever, and you could trade out of that spot or have someone buy that spot from you or whatever, I would get out of it if I could. But in every league I've ever been in, that's never been the case. But man, all the damn luck I've never had good luck at in first, like the first spot. I've always like somewhere between 3 and 5 in a 10 to 12 man. Obviously, but
hey Cody, really, you know I picked with my second pick? Devontae Adams.
That's even that sucks just about as bad, man.
Fuck out of here with that, man. All right.
Hey, you know what's funny?
My one question is, and we'll talk more about this on Tuesday. What is the earliest you should take a QB in the draft?
This nigga said Little Daryl.
Man, it really depends. You got to see what the rest of the field's doing. I mean, I guys in my leagues before, they drafted last year, the winner of my championship in my $2,000 league, he drafted Josh Allen in the first round and won $2,000.
Oh, so y'all got some hoes in y'all ain't too. That's why I'm
It's not. I mean, you can go out here and listen to all the pundits and all these guys that are like that get paid the big money to tell you not to draft these guys. But at the end of the day, they're playing against other people that say that they're pundits and they all know their draft strategy. But when it comes to people that you really don't know or people that you really do know, and you know that they're going to come out and reach for a quarterback in round 1 or 2, you have to set up the defense in only way that being defensive is offense, right? Is getting that guy before somebody else does. So I don't believe there's any time that's too early. I think it's absurd that people wouldn't wait, but if someone else goes and picks the guy that think the quarterback's going to be the number 1 offensive weapon, and he's the third best fantasy, or actually the third best fantasy weapon in all of fantasy football last year in Josh Allen in the first round, you're screwed. You're just screwed.
Guess what happens next year when we play fantasy, y'all? You fucking right. First round, I'm going crazy.
I just need to be involved in the Sports4U fantasy league next.
Sure. For sure. Next year,
you're locked in.
Yeah, we got you next year.
Locked in. All right. So before we got here,
Transformers. Transformers.
Oh my God. Oh man, it's crazy. All right, Cody, man, we can't thank you enough, man, for joining us tonight, man. We're obviously gonna be back on Tuesday, but tell them where they can follow you on social and what you got going on, brother.
So I'm gonna drop, if y'all don't mind, I'm gonna drop our link in the chat for everybody. You can find all our socials at that link right there. It's all of our, there's X, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, you name it, it's there. Facebook. Tomorrow night we will be doing our fantasy football and DFS week 6 outlook. So basically, for the ones of you that might have not seen us before, we pick 4 to 5 of the highest scoring games on the slate and talk specifically about those games. Because when it comes to DFS, we talk a lot of DFS. So when it comes to DFS and fantasy football, we like to follow the games that have high scoring over-unders because those games tend to output the most fantasy value. And so we'll pick 4 or 5 games and we'll talk about them. And then kind of at the end of the show, we answer all the questions, starts, sits, trades, lineup adjustments, whatever you got questions, we got answers. And we're live every Saturday night and every Wednesday night for to get ready for Thursday night's game. So that's what you go live. Tomorrow night it will be at 8 p.m. or 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Central, and I believe that's 4:30 for you guys out on the West Coast.
Yes, sir.
And then on Wednesday nights, it is 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central. And 5 o'clock out there on the West Coast for you guys.
Yes, sir.
So that's what we are. And so I appreciate it again, fellas. I really do.
No,
I tried to get my red in here. It's a little Sports4U red in here. So
John don't like that.
I can't stand y'all dudes right now, man. But yeah, that's that Cody, man. And again, if you want to go find them right there at Ballers and Briefs on social media right there. And y'all go follow him on Twitter, on YouTube, Instagram, you name it. The dude is everywhere. Final word before we get off the show. Tennessee, let's bounce back and get this W over those punk Florida Gators tomorrow night. Broncos, let's go for 4 in a row. Let's go for 4 in a row against these Chargers. Move up the standings, and let's get it going. Cody, go ahead and give your final words to the Texans and to your dogs.
H-Town made H-Town till I drown. So let's I need to put the Patriots to sleep. Don't want to hear nothing about Drake May. Get out of here. And we're gonna show Mississippi State tomorrow who the real Bulldogs are in the SEC.
Whoop they ass.
Well,
Sick 'em dogs, baby.
Whoop they ass. You heard?
Well, let me go to the other Bulldogs fan here, Mark. Give your dogs some words.
Carson Beck. I need you to get back to the Carson Beck of last year. We lost the receiver because he was doing stupid shit. But next man up. Let's go out here and whoop ass. Fuck them niggas. And fuck the team next week too. You know what I'm saying? We get there next week though. Buffalo,
Monday night.
We just have more points than the Jets. I hate the Jets. I don't care how y'all do it, just do it.
All right. And Nick, what's final words you want to get the SC before y'all big game tomorrow with Penn State and then your Raiders?
Nick.
Going against the Steelers with Aiden O'Connell now at quarterback.
AOC.
For the Raiders, we done lost to the Steelers 2 years in a row. Let's not make it 3.
And you have the better pass rusher.
Yeah.
Hot take. Their pass rusher's better.
Who? TJ Watt?
Nope. Mad Max, baby. All day. Love Mad. I love me some Mad Max.
I'm not mad at that.
I love me some Mad Max. I was a JJ Watt fan, so I ain't gonna say any Watt's better than JJ. So Mad Max is good. Mad Max is it.
No, Mad Max is a baller.
I love Mad Max. Talk about a guy that would be great on another team.
He could be great on any team that he's on.
I'm talking about like best in the league.
Great. Put him with Greg Russo, huh?
Hey, relax.
All right, my bad.
We take him in Denver, but I know that's not gonna happen. And then what's the 4 hours for USC? I play Penn State tomorrow, dog.
Oh, it's upset city. I'm calling it right now. I heard Sam Darnold gonna be bringing them out through the tunnel. So upset city. You know what happened last time Sam Darnold saw Penn State?
He playing?
That's a fact.
I hope he does. He's still eligible if he was playing for Georgia.
That's hate. Hey, yo, that's hate, dog. Hey, yo, Nick. That's what we doing?
My bad, dog. I mean, Stetson Bennett don't help the case. He like about 45?
And Bear Alexander coming back to Georgia, you heard?
Maybe you can get Brock Bowers on bye weeks.
That's hate. Oh, us? Yeah, we can get him.
Yeah, funny, man.
Tight end university too.
That's crazy.
So Tuesday we gonna talk. Cody's gonna be back with us. He gonna give us some daily fantasy talk. We're gonna have some regular fantasy football talk, gambling talk, all that, and we'll recap the week in football.
Cody gonna be here to pick the game next week.
That's right. That's right,
Cody.
And I'll drop my waiver wire picks. I'll give y'all my waiver wire drop too.
Appreciate that. So make sure you follow us
on live that night. So
there's I posted the link in the chat for Ballers and Briefs.
You can follow
chill. You gotta chill, dog.
What the fuck is wrong with you,
y'all wild dudes, man. subscribe to both channels on YouTube, Sports4U and Ballers and Briefs.
We got to do a merch swap, man. We got to do a merch swap. I need a I need a Sports4U shirt. So and I get y'all some.
You know what? I'm gonna hit you up after the show.
Definitely. Sports4U merch, Ballers and Brief merch. Definitely get your merch. And enjoy the football weekend. Let's go, Dodgers! Got the job done. Now we get ready to face the New York Mets starting Sunday.
Fuck the Mets.
And then the Yankees wait on either the Guardians or the Tigers. Who y'all think is that game tomorrow? Guardians or Tigers?
I want it to be, now that my team out, I want it to be, you know, my secondary team, because of my parents, rest in peace, Dodger fans.
Right.
So I would like to see a Dodger and Guardians.
Dodger and Guardians. I think the Guardians get the dub tomorrow. What you think, Nick?
I think the Guardians gonna win too. I should just die like a motherfucker.
Cody.
Shout out to what the
1990. Wait a minute. 99. What the 99?
No, was it 90? Was it 98? 98. ALCS Indians and Yankees. ALCS. Jim Tomey, Manny Ramirez, Julio. Yeah. So I'd love to see that. I'd love to see it. I hate the Yankees. I hate the Yankees worse than I do your Dodgers. So I wouldn't mind seeing your Dodgers and the Guardians or the Tigers, either one. But anybody but the Yankees getting to the World Series is great for me. So
that's right.
I just don't want to see the Yankees win the World Series. I don't care about it. I don't want to see Cleveland win the World Series neither, because I got a homie who a Guardians fan.
Yeah, he's
unbearable. So no, I'm cool.
Well,
maybe see the Subway Series.
Tony, thanks for being here.
Appreciate it, fellas.
It's a Subway Series. Yeah, I don't
like the Mets or the Yankees.
Yeah, I don't like the Mets. Subway Series, I will not be interested.
Yeah, I don't like the Mets neither. Yeah.
So, and I really wouldn't
Braves all day.
But yeah, let's go Dodgers. Let's go Broncos. Let's go Tennessee. Obviously, you got two dog fans here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Watch
Can we my number tonight?
Watch John.
Have my number tonight, man. I knew how to deal with Mark. I didn't think I had to do with another one, man. But it's all good. Cody's gonna be back on the show Tuesday. So enjoy your football weekend. Enjoy your baseball weekend, and y'all just be safe. Enjoy the extra. If you're off on Monday, enjoy it. And enjoy the Indigenous People Holiday. I am, and we'll see y'all on Tuesday. This has been Sports4U. I'm John.
Yep.
That's Mark. Yep. Nick Freeze, Cody, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
This should have been a 4